I've often talked about how a narcissist wants completely different things out of the relationship than you probably do, and how narcissists want completely different things out of life than most people do. But I haven't really gone into detail about exactly what it is that a narcissist wants out of life and out of the relationship. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. Welcome to Looking Behind the Mirror, where we explore narcissism and take our lives back as we make sense out of nonsense. As a quick disclaimer, everything I say is based on my opinions and my personal experiences. I'm not a professional, and if you're really struggling, I encourage you to seek professional help. I am providing links below for you. Most of us enter relationships with narcissists assuming that they are something that they are not. And part of that is assuming that they want similar things to what we want. They want communication, love, acceptance, peace, and harmony. They want the relationship to work out. They want you to be happy. It can be very, very confusing and frustrating to try to make a relationship work with somebody that wants completely different things from you, especially when you don't realize or understand that they don't want the same things as you do. When you're trying to communicate with somebody, hey, you're hurting me, your behavior is hurting me, assuming that they care about that. It can take a long time for it to dawn on us that, oh, this person doesn't care if it hurts me, even when it should be really obvious by their behavior. I'm speaking from personal experience. So what else is it important for us to understand about narcissists and what narcissists want out of life and out of the relationship that they might have with you? When we understand what the narcissist actually wants and what they don't want, it can save us a lot of heartache, a lot of confusion, and a lot of time wasted trying to get through to these people, trying to communicate things that they actually don't care about, and trying to understand why they are acting as if they don't care. So let's go over the main things that motivate a narcissist. Relationship goals for a narcissist can all be summed up with one word: control. Narcissists want control. They're not getting into a relationship to form a partnership or any kind of reciprocal relationship or anything that's going to mutually benefit both of you. They want to control you. They want to control the relationship. They want to control the narrative. They want to control what other people think about the relationship. They want to control pretty much everything that has to do with the relationship at the cost of a lot of things that are probably really important to you. They would rather control you than have you feel good about the relationship. They would happily hurt your feelings if that meant maintaining control. They would happily destroy the relationship if that's the price of keeping control of it. They would gladly destroy your trust if it means maintaining control. Control is the most important thing to a narcissist in a relationship, and that's just so alien to a lot of us. Most of us don't get into relationships with control being the number one goal and the most important thing. So this can be really confusing when somebody is treating us so badly and they don't seem to understand that their behavior is hurting us and hurting the relationship. But really, they do understand, they just don't care because control is that important to them. Part of the reason that narcissists get into relationships is so that they can play out this fantasy, this narrative, this story about them. And you are supposed to be playing a character in that story, that narrative. They don't have any interest in who you really are or what you want out of life or how you feel about anything. You're supposed to be playing the part that they've written for you. You're supposed to be looking and acting the right way that's going to make this relationship look the way the narcissist wants it to look to the outside world. You're supposed to be playing your part in this narrative, and this is why they're more interested in controlling you and controlling the story than they are in how you actually feel or how healthy the relationship actually is. They aren't interested in mutual respect. They want to be the boss. Now, the next thing that a narcissist wants out of a relationship is attention, of course. Narcissists kind of assume that everybody's already paying attention to them anyway. They really kind of feel like they're the center of the universe, and part of that is feeling like everybody is noticing them, everybody's thinking about them, and everything that everybody does all around them is done with them in mind. Like if somebody plays a song that they don't like, they must be doing it on purpose to bother the narcissist, because obviously they must know about it because everybody is super hyper focused on the narcissist all the time, right? Well, part of them really likes this. Part of them expects it. Part of them feels entitled to it. So this is a reason that they would enter a relationship, is to get more attention, more and more attention, because I don't think that they ever really have enough. And I think it should go without saying that it doesn't matter what kind of attention this is. It could be attention for how wonderful they are and how much they're love bombing you and all the great, awesome, wonderful things they're doing for you. Or they can be just as satisfied with attention that they get for how awful they treat you, how horrible they are to you. That kind of attention is just as good, because attention is attention. Attention means that they are the most relevant person that exists and that they are the center of the universe. You may have assumed that you got into a relationship with somebody that wants to maybe have a conversation with you, when really they just want somebody to sit and listen to them talk. They want a captive audience. They want that attention. So they don't really care so much about you. They're going to pay attention to you paying attention to them. They want someone to talk at, not with. And just like with control, narcissists are willing to sacrifice all the things that you want out of the relationship in order to get attention. They will gladly sacrifice peace and quiet. They will gladly destroy your trust or embarrass you or themselves if it means getting attention. Another thing that is important to a narcissist within a relationship is to avoid blame. You might think you're in a relationship with somebody that wants to work things out or actually solve real problems, talk things through, communicate. You might think you're in a relationship with somebody who is interested in the health of the relationship enough to take accountability for mistakes they make or bad decisions they make or horrible ways that they treat you. But the narcissist wants to avoid blame first, and they are willing to sacrifice your happiness and the health of the relationship if it means avoiding accountability. A narcissist will allow problems in the relationship to just hang out in the air forever if the solution means they have to take accountability for something. You might think you're with somebody that's willing to work things out or even able to work things out, but a narcissist wants to avoid blame first. A narcissist will work very hard to convince you that all the problems are your fault or all the problems are your responsibility to fix. If there's problems in the relationship, it must be because you did something wrong or you're not trying hard enough or you didn't fix the problems. Taking accountability for negative things to a narcissist is far more painful than losing the relationship. Far more painful than having you even leave them. Taking accountability for a narcissist truly is so painful that there's almost nothing that is going to convince them to take accountability. They are going to pull out every trick in the book, every manipulation tactic they know to convince you to take accountability for their mistakes. And this is one reason they want you around, so that they have someone to blame for their mistakes and the things that go wrong in their life. Now, another thing that narcissists want in a relationship is chaos and drama. And this can get kind of confusing because they're not always necessarily the ones causing the chaos and drama, or it's not always obvious that they're the ones causing the chaos and drama. Narcissists can provoke people, or they can set up situations, or they can pit two people against each other and then step back and watch the chaos unfold. I mean, some of them jump right in, and some of them are extremely hyper reactive and are part of the chaos and drama, but some of them are really good at stepping back and making it look like they are actually the peacemaker. They are actually the cool, calm, collected, sane one. But either way, narcissists thrive on chaos and drama because, for one thing, narcissists are chronically bored. They have a very, very difficult time living in their own head, and they're always looking for something to distract them from the extreme angst and discomfort that they live with 24/7. And chaos and drama is a great distraction. It's great to have something else to focus on, entertainment. And if it's something that makes other people look bad, makes them look like the hero or the good guy or whatever, I mean, bonus points. Another thing about chaos and drama, when the narcissist is the one starting it, provoking it, and basically controlling it, it makes them feel like they're in control. It makes them feel powerful when they can provoke people into flying off the handle or fighting with each other or whatever. And narcissists are willing to destroy your relationship for entertainment. That's a really hard pill to swallow. Their entertainment is more important to them than the health of your relationship, more important to them than your happiness. They are willing to drive you crazy in order to entertain themselves. So you might assume when you start a relationship with a narcissist that you're with someone that wouldn't want chaos and drama. You might assume that you're with a fairly normal person that generally wants peace and harmony in their life. This can be really, really confusing when you're with somebody that seems to thrive on chaos and drama and doesn't seem to care about the consequences of it until you really realize and accept that that really is the situation. You really are with somebody that would rather have chaos and drama than peace and harmony, would rather have chaos and drama than a healthy relationship. Another thing that narcissists want out of relationships is to be served. They basically want a servant. They want somebody that they can manipulate into serving their needs and then some. They want somebody that will give them everything they have and then some. They want somebody that's going to bend over backwards to try to make them happy 24/7, even though that's impossible. So their needs are never really going to be met. They're never really going to be happy with anything you do. Nothing you do is ever going to be good enough. They're always going to be disappointed with your efforts, no matter how hard you try. But they still want somebody bending over backwards, trying everything they can to make them happy 24/7. They still want you to put in all that effort, even though it is all a huge waste of time. And this is another reason that they're in the relationship. Not to serve each other, not for you both to benefit, not for reciprocity, but so that they can have a personal servant, somebody that they can manipulate into doing as much as possible for them. I mean, if they get a good enough thing going, they might have you doing everything for them. They might have you paying their bills for them, doing all their cooking and cleaning and taking care of their kids or their pets or whatever. Narcissists are never going to turn down the opportunity to have a free servant. And even if they have to put in some effort by manipulating you, guilt tripping you, somehow convincing you that it's your job to serve their every need, this is part of why they get into relationships. You might think you're with somebody that would want to give and take, like a normal person. It might be very confusing to try to understand why this person seems totally unwilling to do simple things for you, while at the same time expecting you to give them the world. And if they've manipulated you successfully enough, you might not even be conscious of this. You might actually be convinced that you somehow owe this to them, that you should give and give and give and try, while they just sit there and feel like you somehow owe that to them. I think one way a narcissist can do this is by manipulating you and convincing you that somehow they're flawless and you are incredibly flawed. Like you have so many things wrong with you that you owe it to them to try to kind of make up for that. So why should they put effort in? Why should they have to get off the couch and do something when you're the one that they're putting up with? You're the one that needs to earn your keep. You're the one that's lucky that they're with you. I know this is one way that a narcissist can convince people to give much more of themselves to them than the narcissist is willing to give back. And another thing that narcissists need out of their relationships is a scapegoat. This is really similar to how they need to avoid blame, but they actually need somebody to blame everything on. They need a scapegoat. They need someone to punish for their own disappointments. They need somebody that they can pretend has caused every problem that they've probably caused in their life. They need an emotional punching bag when they're having a bad day, when they're in a bad mood, when they need to let off some steam. You know, when they couldn't scream at their boss all afternoon, they need somebody to come home to scream at. You might think that you entered a relationship with somebody that wants a listening ear. wants acceptance, wants support. No, you are with somebody, if you're with a pathological narcissist, you're with somebody that needs someone to blame and punish. You're with somebody that needs an emotional toilet, somebody to purge all of their toxicity onto, somebody that will take on the burden of their pathological insecurities, somebody that they are willing to destroy with their own toxic emotional problems. Narcissists don't want help. They don't want love and understanding. They don't want a healthy relationship. They don't want communication. They certainly don't want vulnerability. They want somebody that they can control. They want somebody that's going to help them further this narrative, this fantasy that they're creating for themselves. They want somebody that's just going to play their part and say their lines and do everything that the narcissist needs them to do to help the narcissist feel good about themselves for however long they can stand it. And then when the narcissist isn't feeling good, they need that same person to take the blame for the bad mood they're in. They need that person to be an emotional toilet, a punching bag, somebody that they can blame, a scapegoat. That's what they need out of relationships. And so when you try to go to therapy with somebody like this, they're just going to keep playing these games because they don't want the same things out of the relationship that you do. They don't care about the things that you would assume they care about. They don't want problems solved because problems to them are tools that they can use to keep their agenda going, to meet their own needs, to keep you strung along and dancing around in this narrative that they've created. These are the things that the narcissist wants in a relationship. And this is why it really is impossible to have a healthy relationship with a pathological narcissist, because you want completely different things. And what the narcissist wants in a relationship are things that hurt you. You can't be in a relationship with a narcissist who's getting their needs met without it hurting you. All the things that a narcissist needs are things that are going to destroy you and take away from the things that you need in a relationship. And narcissists don't want to change this. They don't want help. Like I said, they don't want a healthy relationship. They want to be some sort of parasite. They want you to serve their toxic needs, and they don't care how much it hurts you and how much it takes away from you. And when you get to the point where you can no longer fulfill their needs and you've got nothing left to give them, they'll just move on to someone else. And this is what they want. These are the goals of a narcissist in a relationship. And once we see this and understand it and accept it, I think in some ways it can be a huge relief because things will finally start to make sense. As painful and horrifying and awful as it is to accept this, and as grueling of a process as it is to get out of a relationship like this and to heal from the damage that this causes, accepting the truth and understanding that you're with someone that wants completely different things from you is also a way that sets you free to get onto that road of healing and ultimately to give you the opportunity to learn how to function in a healthy relationship with somebody that really does want the same things that you do. I hope this helps. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment below any ideas you have for me for future videos. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like this video and would like to see more like it in the future. Until next time, thanks. Bye.